opinions expressed in this program are those of the speakers and do not necessarily reflect the views or positions of any entities they represent.
Find us on the web at mbradio.us.
Aloha! Hi, it's me, Coach C with the Bond of Six. Thank you so much for just coming over here, listening, and joining in. The Bond of Six, introduced it last Saturday with my special guest host, which was my husband, just to show my credentials with being in a military couple. But the Bond of Six, we're here to support any member in the armed forces. There are 6 recognized branches, so the Bond of Six. Yeah. And also, this information can be helpful with many relationships, but in the military, that armed services, whichever branch you're in, they're going to give you directives on what to do when you have those boots on, that uniform. Once you take it off, we're just here to support you with those relationships that you have. All righty. So thank you again for coming through. And last week I did introduce the uniqueness of the relationship that I started with my husband. We're still growing, but we did give some tips on what we were doing to help ourselves grow. And one of those was with the communication piece, with having that space. So today we're going to be talking about creating a safe space for communication. So creating a safe space for communication, that if you're in a space where you're not feeling heard, or just you don't trust that the people are going to do anything for you, I don't know, put comments out there. Do you feel like you would want to share any information? So today we're just going to address just a couple of tips, a couple of approaches you can take to just start opening up that space, start creating an area where you feel like you can address issues and not have it blow up into something else. All right. So the foundation, I think it was my grandmother. I'm sure she heard it from somewhere else, but it's like, if you don't stand for anything, you'll fall for everything. So what I'm standing on over here is in Hebrews chapter 10, verses 24 through 25. I'm giving you the easy to read version. And this is standing around helping each other be strong. We should think about each other to see how we can encourage each other to show love and do good works. We must not quit meeting together as some are doing. No, we need to keep on encouraging each other. This becomes more and more important as you see the day getting closer. There's so many of us out here. It's not by chance. It's not by chance. We're here to support each other. All right, gonna pray. Father God, thank you so much just for giving us this opportunity and this chance to just grow together. I pray that as we continue to grow, that we release the fears that keep our mouth closed, release the fears that keep us shackled into shame. release those fears, and allow each other to grow. For those who have healed and move on, I pray that they can be the light to help others who are lost and still trying to find their way through. So I thank you for the community. I thank you for the platform that allows us to connect with each other. We praise you and lift you high. Amen. Alrighty. So creating a safe space. Communication. Communication is key to a lot of things, and especially in your relationships. Um, I know I can speak for myself. Sometimes I will give subtle hints of what I need, but just being upfront, letting the person know, giving them an opportunity to see if they want to support you through it. Um, Having that open dialogue, it helps you connect. If you feel as though I started telling myself, I feel like it's something I can go tell my friend or complain with another coworker or can go tell my mom or dad, then I should definitely be telling this person that I went and did all this paperwork and changed my last name for. I should be able to go up and tell this person this information. And if I don't feel that I can, then we need to sit down and talk. And because this is who I'm connected with. Um, as, and especially with the uniqueness of being in the military, we spend so much time with all our fellow colleagues, our comrades, that that becomes a family unit. So when you step out of that, you need to bring the same essence, that same, hey, we gotta get this mission. The mission is having that relationship. So yeah, definitely keep that dialogue open. Sit down, be clear about exactly what you need. And I know sometimes, especially in our troubleshooting phase in the military or thinking ahead, it's easy to think for your spouses too. Um, yeah, I've done that. Um, but try to step back, allow them to speak for themselves, allow them to express what they're feeling, and take it at face value, and trust that eventually they'll open up more. But don't don't dissect it even further. Trust them that they're sharing the information, and support them through it. And you do the same. Establishing trust. Oh my. So um I know for myself, it was like, oh, we're married, and you know, you're supposed to, it's like all the supposed to's. You're supposed to believe in me. You're supposed to, but um with anything, you have to establish a trust. You gotta be consistent with the things. If you keep being consistent, for instance, if you say you're gonna be somewhere, I understand the exhaustion of being at work and doing these assignments. But if you say you're going to be somewhere, sh- get up. Because you would get up if you, like, regardless if you were tired or not the day before, when the alarms hits and you got to be in a uniform and you got to be on assignment, you would be there. So try to do the same for your relationships. If you say, hey, we're going to go to this movie, if you have to be in there next to your partner snoring, you show, be consistent. Or if you cannot, make sure you're talking beforehand. It's that whole communication piece. Talk beforehand. And kind of give an idea of, hey, it's a lot going on. I might be a little exhausted. Is it okay if we had to postpone? Uh, Communication is a beautiful piece, and it opens up a lot of understanding for each other. Prioritizing your family needs. And it goes back into that, that trust of being consistent. But one of the things that I really didn't think about too much until I became a mother myself is planning all those different engagements. Like, it's the holidays. I have to go fly to Mississippi, or I have to do this. I have to spend it with these people. I have to. It's like all these have tos because that's how we've always seen it. Sometimes there's a thing called burnout. I don't know if anybody has witnessed that. Please put a, I'm not gonna force you to do who ya, but yeah, put a raise hand emoji or yes. Um, and thinking about being in a kitchen, especially for myself, thinking about being in a kitchen and having to do dishes afterwards just felt even more exhausting. And I couldn't like really be present at the gathering. So, check in with the family, see where the family is at mentally, ask those questions, have a meeting. Like before you were to pull in the port, we were going to have a meeting talking about what we can do, what's allowed. So just sit down before just throwing out those yeses to if somebody invites you somewhere. Yeah, I can do that. Oh, okay. I'm going to be an hour here and then I'll be an hour here. Like, yeah, be mindful of the energy level of everybody in your family. Support systems. Oh my. For this person who grew up as an only child, just independent, always want to do things herself, that was something I looked over and really wish I had tapped into, is establishing those connections with other military families that were surrounding me. I unlocked the door to my house and we got secluded, allow my child to go play with other kids around the neighborhood. But as far as getting those connections with other families, I really wish I had tapped into that, especially when we were farther away from family. Having that community, having that security around you. Or oftentimes when I would go to work, I would feel like, okay, what if something happens to me? Who's going to be able to pick up my child? If my kid gets lost, who can she go turn to? That was like nerve wracking. And I don't know if anybody's been in that situation. Let me know what you did to help yourself out. But it was it was scary, and it would be a whole ordeal when I got in the car. It's like, okay, God, please cover me because who's gonna be able to get my child? So having that just expanding out of your small circle really helps. And it also helps you see when you can see that other people have made it through. It really helps to have that example in front of you or somebody you can talk to who can give that understanding ear and can encourage you through it because they've been through it. Yeah. So think outside of the box of that. Family is only blood related. Family can be formed through experiences. So, all righty. It is time to take a commercial break. And we are going to be giving homage to a support system out there, LT Defense. They support us, and that's how the military broadcast radio can be out here supporting veterans who want to have a voice. So if you are interested, please reach out to us. All right, I'll see you after the commercials.
Introducing LT Defense Tactical Gear. your ultimate solution for top-notch protection and performance in the field. Our armor bundles provide unmatched safety and comfort, while our battle belts and holsters ensure quick and easy access to your gear. Stay prepared for any situation with our high-quality medical supplies, designed to keep you ready for action at all times. Looking to enhance your skills? Our firearms training programs will take your proficiency to the next level. Trust LT Defense for all your tactical gear needs and gear up for success on the battlefield.
Attention, all troops. Are you ready to stay connected with the latest news, entertainment, and information tailored for our armed services? Look no further than MBR.
Here at MBR, we're more than just a radio station. We're a lifeline for those who served from the front lines to the home front. We're here to keep you informed, entertained, and connected to your fellow veterans.
With our dedicated team of broadcasters, we bring exclusive interviews with military leaders, insights into the latest strategies and technologies, and uplifting stories of bravery and sacrifice.
But that's not all. MBR is a nonprofit organization, meaning that every dollar you donate goes directly towards supporting our troops and their families, whether it's providing care packages, funding, scholarships, or offering mental health resources. Your support makes a difference.
With that, H Train, can you tell me a little bit about how MBR got started?
Well, in 2005, Jim Butler created it so that he could keep contacts with all of his pals over in Iraq. And then when 2018 came, he decided that it was time for him to retire. He was going to close up the station. And because we've had so many former DJs since 2005, I mean, it was pretty inspiring. We have at least 5 veterans in every single state, at
That's
least.
awesome.
And, it just brings us closer together. It creates a family, and it creates a family that we lost when we got back from Iraq. And
Remind you that every show is manned by a veteran or a first responder. That's amazing. I love what MBR is doing here. I love being a DJ here as well. Talk to people who have been through situations similar to yours. You're not alone. That's what we do here on MBR.
yeah, and it's nice because if you're not having a radio day and you're just having a bad day,
Or do you don't have a face for radio? We just want to remind you that every show is manned by a veteran or a first responder. So if you've ever had a dog tag, you could be possibly on the show or create your own, as well as military dependents. Together, we'll stay strong, we stay informed, we stay connected. So visit our website and download our app today, MBR.
MBR, serving those who served while giving
Giving
veterans
veterans a
a voice.
Brandon Stokely here, and I want to encourage every single one of y'all to keep grinding, keep fighting, keep practicing, keep getting those reps in, because that's what's important, right? Keep building, laying down that foundation, and keep working at it, keep practicing. No matter what the results you see right now, it doesn't matter what's going on right now. Look towards the future, and that's what it's all about. So keep working hard, keep practicing, keep getting those reps, and that's what's most important right now. So keep up the good work. Best of luck.
All righty, welcome back. Welcome back. So we are discussing how to create a safe space for so you can have communication within your relationships. Let me go check out the comments really quick. Hi, MJ. Thank you so much. See your comments. Yeah, relationships. It's about that balance. It's about that balance. Ego does come in, and I know especially the military, because we get all these awards. We're at work. We're doing our job. Everybody's like, "You got this." Everybody's asking us questions, and then we cross the threshold. Like, what? My title don't mean nothing here. You want me to what? Take out trash? You want me to what? Hold up. I just operated all this nuclear machinery. No, this is a whole nother command. This is, you gotta talk to these people, you know? So yeah, that ego. Like, do you want to sleep next to your ego or you want to sleep next to this person? Yeah, think about it. Oh, oh, and the supposed to, yeah, those supposed tos really, I agree, are they it's like shit. It's the demand. They are demands on you, and half the not half the time, majority of the time is based on what was working for another relationship. Because what might work for mom, dad, aunties, your uncles, or other people's relationships might not work for yours. Because you're different people, different mindsets, different backgrounds, different experiences. So yeah, I have definitely learned with that supposed to. The minute I start thinking I'm supposed to be doing this, then I'm like, okay, where is that coming from? Is that coming from what my family need? Because half the time when it's supposed to, is something that my family didn't even need it. It was just that, hey, this is what I did in my family. So why ain't we doing over here? Is something wrong? But we've been happy and content all day. And it's just irking me that I didn't do this one thing. So yeah, definitely sit back, examine that. Sit back and examine that. So this is a topic I really want to tap into. I'm seeking professional support. I can speak from my experience. My support system was normally complaining to a friend about, let me tell you what he did. And oftentimes, the let me tell you what he did is met with frustrations of another person because you're going to draw in what you're looking for. I'm looking for somebody to help me complain about what my spouse was doing or wasn't doing or responded to something I did. And yeah, it just added to, yeah, I am right, instead of just addressing the topic with the person who really needed to be addressed with. Um, and yeah, my spouse too will go out there and talk to somebody. Yep. She's supposed to be, those supposed to be's come in and really interfere with what's going on. And when we did sit down and talk, mm, it would I would say it will start out the first couple minutes will start out like we're getting the topic, and then something would get pushed, a button would get pushed, and then it turns into something else, not even addressing the topic anymore. Now it's like, oh, a tennis match of I'm gonna who's gonna crack whose face with words, of course, not with hands, but with words. Like who's gonna do it first? And totally didn't get the thing resolved. Now upset about something else. So we needed that help to sit down and be able to talk about the issue and not allow our egos or those supposed tos or our vision of how this is supposed to happen and occur come in and interfere and interrupt everything that we had established or want to establish, the future we're trying to make or said we wanted to make when we said I do. So in the beginning, I'm going to be transparent. In the beginning of seeking a counselor, a marriage counselor, um, I think I was looking more for to get somebody on my side. So like, I need you to go over there and tell him. what he need to be doing to support me. And, not truly looking at what side I played into things. Um, even though I had a lot of stuff, to support what I want, to support and validate me. But ultimately, if I wanted to get communication, we had to sit down. We had to really analyze, where is this coming from? And I would say a lot of times the things that were coming in and interfering with communication was internal. It was because I felt like, crap, I need to be doing more with the family. And I'm upset about that I can't do certain things with the family. And then it just boils over into, well, then why do I need to do the dishes? Why do I need to do this? Instead of looking at, okay, how can we do partnership into this load, and saying like, hey, I miss y'all. I want to do certain things with y'all. But yeah, and just it really helped me look at every aspect of relationship, because it was past relationships with close family members that trickled over into my interaction with my spouse, because like, well, I don't want that. And in the midst of just thinking about what you don't want, you always look for those things that you don't want, instead of looking at with the lens of, I am getting things that I like here, and showing appreciation. So what you water will grow. And I was definitely watering my ego and this should be happiness. So I highly seek going out, getting that support. And it also gives you that safe space. I don't know if any of you have utilized that close family unit of parents or sister and brothers. So when you feel like you want to forgive your significant other, your spouse, or even make amends with someone that you've separated from, the family who you are their treasure is going to be looking at that person with stank face. And that's really going to interfere with their relationship and start putting people in isolation, and you start this whole spiral again. So having that person who's outside of, who's not in the fire with you, who's outside, who can give you all the tools to extinguish the fire, is very important. So I highly recommend, if it just feels difficult to have that conversation, or you feel like you don't have a space where you can just talk. Professionals out there, they're trained, who can guide you on the conversation piece, who can help you do some self-reflection to see what part you are taking and what can you do to help with the circumstance. So yeah, definitely go out, seek the help. Okay. So there are like a lot of things that you can do to help open this space. There are so many resources out there. Because the military has different resources. There's people who are life coaches like myself that are out there. Of course, you have the marriage counselors, licensed marriage counselors, relationship counselors. There's everything out there. It's just a matter of just reaching out and seeking it. But after this commercial break, we're going to go in and talk about a couple different tools that you can use. was jamming to the beat.
I laid down on Sunday, dreading the morn to be dreading my life. I'm so tired of the paper chase, tired of the average pace, tired of the lies. When I woke up, the sirens were just as the ceiling fell. They stayed just in time. Make my way into the streets. No one was watching me. They ran for their lives. This time is filled sky, and the ground begins to shake. That I'm still alive. But it's just a Monday for me. Who would have thought it'd be the end of the world? Just a Monday for me. Who would have thought it'd be the end of the world? Just a Monday for me. Who would have thought it'd be the end of the world? Just a Monday for me. Who would have thought it'd be the end of the world? Just a Monday for me. Who would have thought it'd be the end of the world? I'll be waiting in the morning light. The sun comes up to defeat the night. I'll be waiting in the morning light. I'll be waiting in the morning light. I'll be waiting in the morning light. The sun comes up, it's gonna be alright. I'll be waiting in the morning light. I'll be waiting in the morning light. I'll be waiting in the morning light. The sun comes up, it's gonna be alright. I'll be waiting. It's just a Monday for me. Who would have thought it'd be the end of the world?
Opinions expressed in this program are those of the speakers and do not necessarily reflect the views or positions of any entities they represent.
Find us on the web at mbradio.u.
Aloha. See, I was stationed in Hawaii, so I just it's in me now. But hoo-yah! Y'all want to hear that? Welcome back. We're talking about creating a safe space for communication, those relationships. So now we're going to talk about just a couple different resources that you can implement. There is an item called Safe Space Contract. If you look it up, you'll see different examples out there. But this is definitely a tool that's supported me and my family. So not only my husband, but also including my daughter in this matter. And it addressed how when we are addressing any type of conflict, any issues, that when we come in, we are going to talk about the topic and try to be fair, being mindful how we're bringing up the topic, um, and sticking to that topic the best that we can. And for the others to practice some grace and mercy, and to also, instead of like, you said something that will trigger me, talk about that. Like, hey, it's kind of hard for me to hear you right now because I was triggered by that. I just need a breather so I don't bring my emotions and ego into this. Um, and having those reminders up there. When we're in the military, we have PMS maintenance cards to help us do that maintenance, but also there's, troubleshooting. So, because sometimes some errors might occur. So you either have preventive maintenance, corrective maintenance. There are, so this was our way to have a mixture, but mostly preventive, to sit down and talk about it and to talk about, okay, what to do. Because when those emotions come, want to get you back, but to like, hey, step away, and to remind each other, hey, we signed this, we said we're going to do this. And to also talk about some expectations. So you can put as much as you need on there, or it could be there. You also see, it could be little bullet points about, hey, open, trust, just reminding yourself of how to have a conversation with each other. And these things don't happen overnight. They don't happen overnight, but the habits certainly become easier and they become your norm. And saying that word norm, give yourself space to step into this new way of operating. I know for myself, um, I have this new habit, this new thing I want to do. It's easy to carry that past with you too. And if you're no longer, you're trying, you're doing these new things, okay, dragging along the past of how I used to act, how I used to behave is not going to support where I'm trying to go. So you need to release that load and just sit back and analyze, okay, where are we at now? Okay, this is where we're operating from. This is our new norm. This is the new way we operate. And you'll certainly get reminders of how you operated in the past, but establish how, that for what you and your family doing, what your actions are. And yeah, just keep analyzing, keep pushing through. But yeah, the safe space contract is very helpful. It's very helpful of just establishing what you and your family need, your relationship needs. Um, yeah. So nuclear family trips. Though I was nuclear powered, this is not talking about that. It's talking about just looking at your family unit. Your family unit could just be you and your partner, your partner and your children, or your partner and the caregivers that's in the house. So just people who are in that tight circle right there. Um, I know oftentimes when it's like time for spring break, time for summer break, we always oftentimes my family's like, okay, we got to go do something with the family. And the family wasn't, it was us included with other family members that are outside of the house and not really sitting back and thinking, okay, besides just going to the movies, let's do like a trip that's just for us, something special that's just for us. And those moments when we were going out of town, we did it like twice, but felt really special because it was just for us. It felt so special. and we got to connect and just laugh and be carefree, and it was just us. Um, so what I've seen before is, oh, it was early in the relationship, it was easier to think about, oh, let's tidy up the house because people are going to come over. So we're going to do it for those people, our guests, or we're going to have a good time because we're about to invite people over, instead of thinking about, let's just do it for ourselves and not connect that joy, the peace, the calmness to somebody else having to come into the house, and just doing it for this unit here. Which I could start going off on a spiral, but that'll be a different topic. But yeah, just thinking about doing something special, a trip that you're not required to go see anyone else except for yourselves, enjoying the festivities around. So, highly recommend it if you can. Oh, yes, setting our boundaries. Whew. Take a breath. So, when you are joining families, because hey, it's you two, but you have families connected to you, it's a different operation here. Um, I don't know if anybody's experienced, please leave a comment so I know you're out there too, where yes, you have a close relationship with either your parents, your siblings, or friends, and you're so accustomed to telling them things that once you are in a relationship with somebody else, that person doesn't find out, or they find out through somebody else other than you. Do you is that a pet peeve? I know it was for me. Whew, I want to break place. Like, wait a minute, how does this person know and I don't know? But yeah. However, I didn't communicate that with my spouse. I communicated it after the fact, but I didn't communicate it up front. Like, hey, there's certain things that are just really get under my skin if I don't know about. And, setting those boundaries, talking about, hey, these are certain things I would prefer you discuss with me instead of me finding out afterwards. They're very helpful. And also setting boundaries on how others can approach your partner. As a parent, regardless of your age, we feel like it's ingrained for you to be at peace and stuff. So sometimes parents feel like they need to step in. And now that you join with another person, your partner, you need to protect that boundary from that, because that is something that you two are in agreement with. So please find that balance. Um, for me, I was like, let's look at this marriage license. Only 2 names on there. I did not need my parents to sign me off. I was of age. Let me look at this birth certificate. Only 2 names on there. Let's look at this deed. Only 2 names on there. So ensure you're protecting those 2 names, those 2 people. I know everybody's going to mean well for you, but set that boundary. It is very important. It is so important to, I can speak for myself. If I don't feel protected, then I'm going to put up another wall. And it's just not good. Once you start putting up walls within your partnership, those are difficult. Like, I'm taking mine down brick by brick. But yeah, protect that unit. Let me look out, see some comments. Oh, thank you for coming through, Big Grizz. Okay, NBR talk. I appreciate that. But yeah, um, protect it. Protect it. Be on the front lines for your relationship. Okay, discussion jars. So discussion jars, you know, there are like a look, the little tip jars at the bars and stuff. But these jars collect throughout the week, and you don't want to prolong it. But if something occurs, pick out a weekday that you all can have time to like really sit down and talk about things. And in that jar, you can put things out like, "Hey, I really need to discuss this." Now, if it looks like the jar is overflowing, ooh, you should have been talking. But you want to talk about those things. So um, it could be like, hey, talking about upcoming deployments. Um, or if there was a circumstance that occurred that you just couldn't talk about at that moment because you felt a little too heated and you want to give yourself space, put those things in the jar. And then when you sit down, see, okay, let's pull these out. Let's talk about these things. Because in that way, I know for myself, I don't want to be staring at my partner or, um, of course, if it's something that's you really need to discuss, go for it. But yeah, this is just one of those ways to not let things pile up. And then because somebody left a dish out, but because of something else you need to talk about, you're going to explode on them for they just stepped away, probably used the bathroom, but it looks like they just left a dish out. Now there's another thing that has irked you. So, yeah. So there's so many different things out there. Please leave a comment to let me know which thing that you're willing to try. And of course, if you need assistance on anything, let me know. All right. We're going to go on another commercial break. See you back.
Consequence, so wonderful to see you again. You've not shown your face around here since the last time I was in too deep. Now I've been struggling to sleep, and I have to blame that on what I have created. Always with women or drinks, some repetition of things, and that's a tired old cliche, but that does not mean that it ain't the truth. 'Cause I've been absent from you, and I've never felt less careful. Need my father, my mother, even my brother to say, you gotta get your act together, do not rewrite the days. You can still be productive, without all the hate. Just need to remember who you once were. And I once was quick on the draw, and I once did admit all my flaws. I once was an honest man, and I held your hand you had been. And I once was fresh like the sand. My head moved steady, honey, so did my hands. I once was blessed and true till the day that I lost you. Goodbye meaning, I've been searching too hard to find you now, like some bone in the yard. And I'll keep digging when I have the time, 'cause this world's been moving quickly, too much rhythm and rhyme. And sometimes you just gotta do what makes you feel good. And remember all those nights that you still understood how to be free, how to answer to no one, how to trust like a lover, how to lie like a son. You say this world has got you down, well honey, welcome to the club. I can hardly save enough money to go and see those I love, and we've all but found it, but we're still out of touch. I know we've lost hope of it, baby, but I hope not too much, 'cause we once were thicker than thieves. We once were so much easier to please. We once were alive on the tracks. Wheels came down, I had your back. We once were younger than now, and we once were all still just plotting it out. We once ran circles round squares just for fun. We were louder then before we gave up. My voice was something other than that. I once was walking the line, settling down, loving the track. And I once was bringing it out, and I held on tightly. You were around. I once was back home in blue, kissed my shadow, and I came through. And I once was letting it loose. I thought of you, and I thought of truth. I once was let's get a time, and I had yours, and you had mine.
Opinions expressed in this program are those of the speakers and do not necessarily reflect the views or positions of any entities they represent.
Find us on the web at MB Radio.
Welcome back. We are coming to the conclusion of the topic today of creating a safe space for communication. So you can take care of that wonderful assignment that you have in your relationships. Again, this podcast is here to support you. And relationships come in so many different forms. You could just be starting out. You could be engaged. You could be 1 year into a marriage. You could, even if you're separated, you still have to find a way to communicate, and especially when there's children involved. So this is just to support you in that system. This is support you through all those different transitions. And you can be active duty. You can be reserved. You can be retired. We're here to support each other and to see each other through. So please, when those limitations in your communication becomes too much, reach out, seek that help, that unbiased help. There are many resources out there for you. I would also like to let you know I am a resource. I'm a certified life coach, so can support you through that. I'm growing, so you be talking to somebody who's actually using the system, and it's not about perfection. It's about being present. It's not about perfection. It's about being present and having that safe space that you can walk into and not feel like you still need to have all your protective gear on. You need that space to feel like you can release the stress of the world, have that embrace. But in order to get to that, you have to open up the lines, open up that space in your relationship. And we're over here to support you through it. So reach out on any of the sites that you see this podcast. I will respond. I can support you or provide some resources, help you find some things to help you. We're in this together. Alrighty. But yeah, please let me know. Try one of these things out. Or I also leave links. I'll go make sure I go through and leave some links on different resources you can try out. But just take that first step. Just because other relationships didn't try it, it was your name on that marriage license, on that deed, on that birth certificate, then that's their business. You need to take care of that business that's called yours and your partner's. Yeah. So today, the discussion, of course, was about creating that safe space, um, having that open dialogue, talking exactly about that thing, your needs, things that trigger you, having that safe space, talking it through, prioritizing your family needs, just looking at, okay, this is what I would like to do. I want to go hang out and stuff, but what do we need right now? Is there something that we need for to take care of the family? And setting those boundaries. Set those boundaries to protect this space. Um, be watchful of how others are talking to this partner, to this person you're connected with. Be mindful how you're talking to each other and what information you're sharing about each other. And support system, please get yourself a support system that's going to feed into your relationships and not try to pick it apart, tear it apart. And also seek that help. There's so many resources out there for you. Get that help to support you through. All right. Thank you so much again for just coming through. And before I leave, let me check the comments. Okay. I see there's a question. Hi, Terry, by the way, and Joel. Hey, Joey. Thank you all for coming through. But I see there's a question about how do you encourage a non-communicative spouse to open up? So, um, that's a great question because I did. Um, I think me and my husband we kind of like bounce through who's not talking, who's talking. But the thing that got through with my spouse, and even for myself when I was just fed up, like I'm not talking about this anymore. I'm done. Was sitting down, having those open conversations. But we did have to get somebody else in, um, to sitting down with the counselor and just okay, coming in agreement. I'm gonna hear you out and being consistent with that, uh, and mostly talking about how it's impacting you and not your, pointing the ears are gonna. I know my ears will close, but just talking about how this isn't, um, how I'm getting triggered, and then showing up, continue showing up, um, and showing up in a way that you want that spouse to be present for you. I know to get back, like, oh, you want to act like that? I'm gonna, no, but being present in the way that you want the relationship to go, and it's gonna chisel, but you got to be mindful how long you want to endure it. But if you keep being present and having that unbiased person there too, kind of helps open up the lines, and also seeing how does this partner like to communicate because we have different ways. But yeah, definitely reach out. We can talk about other techniques. But as always, we are here to support each other, to grow together. And I'll see you next Saturday at 8 a.m. thank you so much again for coming through.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in to Military Broadcast Radio. As we wrap up today's show, we want to remind you that the podcast of today's episode will be available right after we go off the air. So if you missed any part of the show or want to listen again, be sure to check it out. And remember, we're here to support and honor our veterans. Your stories and experiences matter, and we are committed to giving you a platform to share them. That's right. We're here to give our veterans a voice. So don't forget to catch the podcast and stay connected with us. Giving our veterans a voice.